to the third session of study Gita study course. Okay. So our today's speaker is His Grace Mithlapati Das sir. He has completed his B.Tech in Metallurgical Engineering from NIT Raipur in the year 2016. After working for a year in industry, he decided to dedicate his time and energy for promoting value-based education in various institutions. In 2018, he was involved in compiling and editing value education book, which has been widely distributed across India. He has conducted numerous seminars at esteemed universities, including University of Mumbai, Kalinga University, and some of the esteemed institutions in Chhattisgarh, which includes IIT Bhilai, GGU Bilaspur, and GEC Raipur. Sir has also given a seminar on engineering ethics in NIT Raipur recently. His outreach extends across multiple states like Rajasthan, Gujarat, Maharashtra, and Chhattisgarh, where he has conducted various educational programs which aimed at instilling ethical values. His contributions also includes establishing a learning and development center in Baloda Bazar, further broadening the scope of value-based education. He completed his Bhakti Shastri degree, continuing his pursuit of personal and professional development. He is practicing spirituality over 13 years and still continuing his services in the path of spirituality. So it's a very great and honor privilege that we are getting opportunity to learn Srimad Bhagavad Gita directly from him. So I will request His Grace Mithlapati Das sir to carry forward this session and give us some of the teachings of Srimad Bhagavad Gita.
So thank you for joining for this today's session, Gita study course, and it has been already discussed till 3rd chapter, 24th verse. We'll begin from that part. And since we don't have much time, so we'll be taking the few points from Bhagavad Gita. Actually, one chapter needs more than 7 days. So here we have 18 chapters. We are trying to just accumulate some points and trying to discuss with all of you. So the 3rd chapter which we are going to discuss currently is Karma Yoga. The 3rd chapter is about Karma Yoga, how to perform our karma action. So generally we hear that just perform your duty and do not think about the result, but then that doesn't happen with us, that doesn't work with us. So what exactly Karma Yoga is? Karma means what kind of action we have to perform, and yoga means anything which is in connection with the Supreme, that is called yoga. So in simple words, yoga means that which connects the soul with the super soul is called yoga. So the kind of action which we perform here in this world that will connect us to the super soul, that is called Karma Yoga. Now it doesn't require you to perform every time bhakti, because now Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Jnana Yoga, these all are different. So how being in this world, performing our normal activities, our daily routine, our duties and all, how we can connect everything to the Supreme Soul, Super Soul. So that is how we are learning from this chapter. So we are going to discuss now. I'm just sharing the PPT here. Can you see the screen? Okay. So I'm starting from chapter number 3, verse number 27. We discussed till 24. I'm starting from 27. This very famous verse, which actually talks about how we are not the doer, how we are not actually doing the activity, whatever activity we are doing. So we are just thinking that I am the doer. Before this, prior to this, you have already discussed, you have already heard about how our identity is changed from the soul to body. Actually, the problem in this world is everyone is thinking that I am the body and is performing wrong activities. When we think that I am not what I am. Like I am the soul, but I am thinking that I am the body. So if I act according to the body, so every activity which is performed hereafter, so that follows a kind of wrong path. So if we follow the path of spirituality, where it talks that I am the soul, and according to that, if I perform my activities, which is also related to the body, mind, soul, intelligence, everything. So then in alignment to that, the all the action becomes proper. But suppose if we are thinking that I am the body, and then in alignment to that, if I perform activity, so then all the activity becomes just for the self-interest, for the selfishness. So that kind of action is prohibited. That kind of action is not allowed as per the scriptures. So theory part is here. Theory part is prakrite kriyamani gunhe karmani sarvasha ahankar vimudhatma kartahamiti manyate. The spirit soul, bewildered by influence of false ego, thinks himself the doer of activities that are in actuality carried out by the three modes of material nature. This nature is there, and there are three modes are there. The three modes are mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. You can see the picture. There are three modes. So one is the goodness is characterized by yellow color. The passion is characterized by red color, and the ignorance is characterized by blue color. So like three color that you can see the pictures, and they are just uh, toying around whatever activities we are doing. As if we are not performing any activity, these three modes are making us forcefully, they are making us to perform these activities. So actually we are not the doer. Whatever activity we are doing here is we means the soul. You have to understand, we are not the doer means the soul is not the doer. The soul is doing these things. Actually, these are carried out by three modes of material nature. And the spirit soul is thinking that I am the doer. Why he's thinking? Because he is in the influence of false ego. His identity is misrepresented here, and because of that, he's thinking, I'm not the body. I'm not the soul, I'm body. Suppose you go to college, and there if you misidentify yourself, oh, I'm not the student, I'm the teacher. So how you will start behaving? Your all the actions, when you start behaving like a teacher or professor, so all the actions will become wrong at that time. Although you are thinking that, oh, I'm doing correct, I'm the professor, I'm the teacher, I should be doing like this, but then all these activities will lead to wrong direction because the identity itself has been changed. The same thing happens with the spirit soul. So this is what the Bhagavad Gita in this chapter is talking about, that first we have to identify who we actually are. Then we talk about what kind of activity we should do. Okay, so next we'll go after this. So from 28 to 34, there are different shlokas are there, where how karma yoga is connected to bhakti yoga, and how whatever activity, whatever duty we are doing, so we should be doing depending on Krishna. It's not like you should not perform any activity, or you should perform other activities which are not uh, which are simply bhakti activity. We are not saying like that, and Krishna is also not suggesting that thing. He's saying that whatever activity you are doing, just do that duty depending upon me. So whatever result you are getting, you should offer me. So here Arjun is also, he may ask, what if one adopt to one's others' duties such as non-violence rather than doing one's own duty to attachment and repulsion? Arjun may ask that suppose I leave my Kshatriya duty and then I go and begging alms to others, I'll simply beg and live. No need to fight. So Krishna says that no, you should do your duty. You should not imitate others. If you are if you whatever qualities you have, so you should perform the duties according to that. We should never ever. So these statement where Lord Krishna is saying it is according to the varnashram system. What is varnashram system? We'll discuss in next chapter. Earlier, it used to happen there are 4 Varnas and 4 Ashramas. Now, the 4 Varnas were Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. Again, I'm saying that this used to happen earlier times, not in Kali Yuga or not in modern times. If in modern times you will say, these are the 4 Varnas, Sanatan Sanskriti, this Hindu Dharma is dividing society in 4 classes. So, Shudra classes, we will not accept it. It's not like by birth you are being divided in such kind of classes. It's by your nature, it's by your activities you are divided. As like there are many saints who were born in low class family, or you can say low class family in the sense earlier which they used to say Shudra family, but then they became Brahmanas, they became more than Brahmanas, they became saints. And there were many Brahmanas like Ravana. Ravana was born in a Brahmana family, but his activity was such third class that he was counted among the demons. So earlier people used to talk about qualities and activities, not like by birth. By birth, you are being caste certificate is been provided. So Krishna is saying that if your qualities according to Kshatriya, you should work like that. If your qualities of Brahmanas, you should work like that. It's not like your qualities like Brahmana and you are acting like a Shudra. That's not acceptable. You should act according to your whatever position you have. So then comes this question. Arjuna inquires, Bhagavad Gita, 3rd chapter, verse number 36. Very special question. And this question is for everyone. This we also discussed when I was giving the seminar on engineering ethics. But that time I could not explain it properly because I was not having much time. And secondly, that was the college campus, so you cannot go more in spirituality. Arjuna inquires, O Krishna, by what reason one impelled to sinful activities even unwillingly as if engaged by force? Why at all it happens that we are forcefully engaged in sinful activities, although we know everything. So this might happen to you all, that we know what is good and what is bad, but still we are unwillingly, we are forced to act in that kind of activity. So Lord Krishna says this very important verse, and the reason is here. Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Kama Esha Krodha Esha Rajo Guna Samudbhava Mahashano Mahapapma Vidyena Mihavarino. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material mode of passion and later transformed into wrath, and which is a all-devouring sinful enemy of this world. What is the reason? The reason is lust. What is the meaning of lust? It's not like whenever someone hears about lust, so they think about just one direction. Lust means any kind of desire which is unsatiable, any kind of desire which you cannot satisfy, and that is burning like fire. So every material desire, every desire which you try to enjoy for yourself, that is called lust. A small kid is just crying for a chocolate, and then he is causing disturbance in the whole family, trying to cause havoc in his bedroom and all, throwing his toys, and then he's crying and crying. So such kind of behavior is also called lust. He has so much lust for the chocolate, intense desire to satisfy. So this all, whatever bad activities we do, although we know this is good and bad, so that happens because of this lust. And then this lust this transforms into wrath. How it transforms? It transforms with the material mode of passion. Wrath means then it becomes like it was already insatiable. It was not in control. Now this wrath becomes very dangerous, and then it starts causing in fight. We see there are so many countries now fighting with each other. Why? Were they not happy in their own country? No, but then there is lust to get more and more, and the nature of this world is we cannot see others happy. We cannot see others situated in happy. Everyone thinks that if the front, I will be happy if I'll see others as others crying. So one country trying to impose his power on another and trying to show its superiority. In that way, they try to be happy. Recently, cricket match is going on. There are many sports are going on. The headline goes like this: that New Zealand crushed India. What kind of crust that was? You are simply playing, and even the sports become nowadays war. A small sport, a T20 match between India and Pakistan is termed as World War. India is going to fight with Pakistan. And for just 2 run, 3 run, if someone wins and all, then snatching the victory away from its opponent. And what kind of this things you are just propagating? The people are trying to this wrath is getting more and more intense. And because of that, every time when these two countries are having match, so then they give all these stats. Last time we haven't lost a match in the World Cup and all. So the history will repeat. Pakistan will get defeated. So there they made the ad also. A few years back there was one ad, a very famous Mocha kind of. So you all might have heard that thing. People are so much engrossed in this thing that they are enjoying when you are seeing that other country is just getting defeated in a simple match. That kind of match you also play when you go with your friends, first year versus second year. So that match, okay, somebody will win. So somebody won, India or Pakistan or New Zealand or Australia, whosoever won. Now making this all thing into a kind of uh, this material mode of passion, then it is mixing with this lust and then transforming into wrath, and then everybody is becoming enemy of each other. As if we are not going to play with bat and ball, we are going to play with our missiles and rockets and all. अरे अभी जाएंगे चलो पिच को खोद खोद के वहीं पे मार के लड़के मरेंगे. This kind of activity is going on. So lust leads to degradation. Don't you think such kind of mentality happens when IPL starts? So then Chennai and Bangalore and this Delhi, Rajasthan, so the supporters, they fight with each other. Why you are fighting? This is my team, my team. What you are getting? Are you getting a penny from there, from them? No. Still, people are so foolish. They are doing such kind of thing. Why? Because of lust. We know that it is not, it is wrong, but still we are forcefully, we are acting such kind of thing because it's my country, it's my team, he is my player. How can you say about him? So these things are going on. After this, from 38 to 43, Lord Krishna goes on explaining that how there are 3 degrees of covering lust. What are the 3 locations of lust? There are 3 places where the lust sits. Indriyani Mano Buddhir. And the senses, mind, and intelligence. These are the 3 sitting places of lust. So why Krishna is saying the three sitting places of lust? So that how we can control it, how to control lust, how to control the intense desire, which will later on, which will later get transformed into wrath. So to avoid such thing, to avoid any kind of complexities, what we should do? By first regulating the senses, because it starts with senses. There are 5 knowledge acquiring senses. From these 5 knowledge acquiring senses, eyes, nose, ears, tongue, and skin, we go on getting the inputs for our mind. And from there, if we get wrong inputs, if we are uncontrolled inputs we are getting, so that the senses will agitate mind will try to uh, bluff the intelligence, and then this intelligence, when it gets bluffed, when it gets cheated by mind, so then intelligence decides something else which is not supposed to be decided, and in that way we degrade ourselves. So how things has to be taken care? The first thing is regulating the senses. If we we put filters in our mobile, um, Google Chrome or YouTube or different sites, you put the filters, or there are parental control is there. Similarly, in our different five senses, we should put the filters. So the comparison is made. Matter is subordinate to senses. In a way, senses are superior to matter. Mind is superior to senses. Intelligence is superior to mind. And soul is ultimately superior to all. So the soul has power to control all these activities, all these things, but the soul is sleeping. How soul is sleeping? The soul is thinking, I am the body. Soul is misidentifying himself. Since soul is misidentifying himself, he is not able to take proper control, proper charge of all these things. Now the person who is in charge of all these matter, senses, mind, intelligence, the in charge is thinking that no, I am not the in charge, I am actually servant of this matter and all. So how he will control them? So the soul has the power to control unless we give him that, we regain that power. Like in Zoom, what happens? You make someone as host. Now you cannot do the changes, necessary changes. As like when I started my video, so I was not getting the permission to start the video because I was not the host. Then I went to the option, I clicked there and then I reclaimed host. There is an option called reclaim host. I reclaimed that. Then I got the power to change the settings. Similarly, the soul has also given its host power to mind, intelligence, senses, matter to everyone. And the soul is thinking, no, I am not the host. How can I do the thing? But the soul has power to reclaim its power. Soul has that property to reclaim its host power. If the soul will not get that host power, the soul will become ghost. The soul has to take care of that thing. He has to become the host and he has to act accordingly that he can control mind, intelligence, senses, and matter. So, thus ends this chapter 3. The chapter 3 talks about mainly karma yoga a little bit and then it goes for the how lust acts, how ego acts, and because of ego and this all intense desire, lust, and all, our action gets polluted. So, how this polluted action will transform into positive action. So, chapter 3 is called Karma Yoga, chapter 5 is called Karma Yoga in action in Krishna consciousness or Krishna Bhavana Bhavit Karma Yoga in Hindi, you say action in Krishna consciousness. So, chapter 3 is Karma Yoga, chapter 5 is Krishna consciousness action. In between is what? In between is this transcendental knowledge. Unless you get the knowledge, your action will not get purified. The same action, suppose, same action. You have a knife, a doctor has a knife. You will get a body, the doctor will get a body. You will try to operate the body, the doctor will try to operate the body. You may kill the body. Not may, you will kill the body. But the doctor will not. Because he knows what to do with that body. So he has that knowledge. Because of that, the same action becomes life-saving action. But because you don't have the knowledge, the same action becomes life-disturbing action. So the transcendental knowledge, it will transform the action, how from our normal action to this transcendental action or action in Krishna consciousness, how this will change. Now this chapter is very, very important because here in this chapter, Krishna is going to give his own introduction. Many times we see that the speaker gets his introduction, but here we don't see that Krishna is getting somebody is coming and then he's giving some introduction about Krishna. But then here, Krishna himself is giving his own introduction. So the hero is entering here. The entry of hero, it's very important. Whenever hero comes, hero is already entered. Krishna is already entered in Bhagavad Gita. But when hero comes, so there, whatever the other people, the surrounding, they make some the image right? You might have seen in South Indian movies how the hero comes and then everyone just uh, they get attracted by the hero's entry and everybody praises hero. So here when Krishna is giving his own introduction, there is no one, just Krishna and Arjuna. So first time Krishna is talking about himself. Okay, so here this chapter is quite important one. Every chapter, one by one, is going to be special one by one. So we have to be very cautiously, we have to watch how things are changing in Bhagavad Gita. Chapter 4, Transcendental Knowledge. Verse number 1 and 2 talks about, which we are not explained here. Krishna. Okay. 1 and 2 is here. The lineage of transcendental knowledge, how the knowledge comes. So Krishna gave this knowledge to Vivaswan, that is sun god. The sun god gave this knowledge to Manu, the father of all this humankind. Manu gave this knowledge to Ikshvaku. So in this way, the knowledge has comes to different parampara. And in Bhagavad Gita also it has been explained that how this knowledge of Krishna is coming to us. Once one devotee was distributing books, Bhagavad Gita he was distributing. It was the case in Maharashtra. So the person who came to approach this bookseller, he said that you people are cheating with us. Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita in Kurukshetra for free, and you are distributing these Bhagavad Gita books for 200 rupees, 250 rupees. You people are making a business out of it. You people are making cheat. You are doing cheating. The devotee said very patiently, see, Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita in Kurukshetra. But then from Kurukshetra to this Maharashtra, the transporting charges are also there. So we're just taking the transporting charges, 200, 250 rupees in terms of book we are giving. The thing is, when the knowledge has comes from Krishna to us, so in between there are many lineage, there are many people are there who are giving this knowledge, who are just passing this knowledge to us. And hence, we get the pure knowledge. You read any kind of, any Bhagavad Gita, any kind of like any press, Gita press, or this ISKCON, or any other organization, you'll get the same verses. Since we are not talking about what things are explained after that, we are simply talking about the verses here. So what things are there? So chapter, verse number 1 and 2, this talks about the lineage, how Bhagavad Gita comes. Krishna says that with due course of time, what happens that the knowledge gets lost. So then I again come and then re-establish the knowledge. And now again, Krishna is saying that through you, Arjuna, I am going to re-establish this knowledge. Why I am telling this knowledge to you? Because in verse number 3 then says, because you are my devotee and friend. Bhakto sime sakha cheti rahasyam etaduttamam. This is a great science, a great secret, which I am going to open in front of you because you are my devotee and you are my friend as well. Arjuna wants Krishna to authoritatively establish the truth about himself. Now Arjuna is saying that, how you can say that you are giving this knowledge to Vivaswan, the sun god? The sun god is way back, very old person, and you are just, you are born with me. We are just of the same age. How you can give the knowledge to a person who is thousand years of old, 1,000 years of age? So the Krishna answers, my birth and death are not like others. In verse number 5, you can see, my birth and death is not like others. The Krishna says that Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavacharjuna, that there are many birth you have taken, and I have also taken. You do not remember any of these, but I remember all. Krishna is saying that I am also taking different bodies. I am also coming in this world again and again, time and again. I am taking incarnation here. And I remember each and every incarnation, whatever I have done till now, whatever I have done and what I am going to do. So all these things I am remembering. But you, because having your tiny intelligence, tiny consciousness, you do not remember even what you have eaten 2 days before. Suppose if I'll ask you just 2 days before what you ate in your dinner or in your lunch, so you'll be scratching your head. I forgot. Maybe every time this our hostel people they make bindi, so maybe I would have eaten bindi. And Prabhuji, this rice and dal and chapati is common thing. So that I have eaten. So we have to think what I have eaten 2 days before. But for Krishna, for millions of lifetime, he is remembering for not only for himself, but for each and every living entity, he remembers everything. So that is what Krishna's uniqueness. So why Krishna comes? He's saying no that I come again and again. Why he has to come at all? The very famous verse. Now chapter 4, verse number 7. And I guess you all might be remembering this verse. Yes, you all might have heard many times. So this very famous verse. Okay, this just few examples. How real currency, fake currency, whatever. When Krishna takes birth, he is all attractive. When we take birth, so then we don't have the picture also. Nobody clicks that picture. Anyway, chapter 4, verse number 7, the very famous verse here. Now it comes. And you might remember, you all remember, I guess. The verse is Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya Glanir Bhavati Bharata Abhyutthanam Dharmasya Tadatmanam Srijamya. This is the reason why Krishna comes here, that whenever and wherever there is a decline of religious practice. So, O descendant of Bharata and a predominant rise of a religion, at the time I descend myself. When the adharma that rises, so the Krishna comes in different forms to subdue that. Next verse again is giving more detailed explanation of why Krishna comes. Krishna comes to establish the religion, okay, but then he doesn't need to come personally. But why he personally comes? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants as well as to reestablish the principle of religion, I myself appear millennia after me. So Krishna comes again and again. Why? Not only to reestablish the dharma, but how he will reestablish dharma? By annihilating the miscreants, by killing all these demons, and by saving, by delivering the pious and those who are good people to his devotees. He will save them. When Lord Ramachandra came, he safeguarded all these devotees and he killed the demons. When Krishna came, he killed many demons and he safeguarded his devotees. In the war of Kurukshetra also we see everybody who joins there is going to meet the death. But Krishna safeguards his devotees. This is what Krishna does. He does little bit this partiality with his devotees. But then why? So that to establish the religion. If the devotees will get killed, who will establish the religion? What Krishna will do alone? So to reestablish, to make sure that his purpose gets fulfilled, he does all these things. Next verse, he says, because he comes again and he goes again, people may think, Are then what is the difference between what is the difference between him and I? I'm also taking birth again and again. I'm also dying. Krishna is also taking birth and again birth and he's also dying. But for Krishna, the birth, death, and his actions are not similar to us. You can see the picture. When Krishna took birth, it's not like he took birth and then he was crying. He has to be washed with the different antiseptic liquids and all because he took birth in generally a kid when he takes birth. So then his whole body is surrounded with, because he comes out of mother's womb. So the urine and then stool, these all things are there with, covered with his body. So then he has to be washed properly with antiseptic liquids and all. Then after that, this nurses, whatever, they clean the body, and then they hand over the body to that small kid to the parents. But in case of Krishna, what happened? Krishna appeared in the four-handed form as Vishnu, holding all this Shankha, Chakra, Gada, and Padma, with various garlands and then jewelries and all. And then he gave the boon to Devaki and Vasudeva. He spoke with them, he gave some orders, and after that, he transformed into a small kid. And then that small kid started crying. Now, that small kid was not ugly, that small kid was having the jewelries with him. The small kid was already having hairs and all. So, Krishna was so attractive at that time also. So, Krishna's Janma is Divyam, Janma Karma Chami Divyam. And his activity is also Divyam, that is transcendental. We cannot understand his birth, his death, how he leaves the body. We say death for us, but for Krishna, how he leaves the body, it's very, very magical. People question about Lord Krishna's death. Suppose you are just sitting somewhere under the tree, and a person comes and he shoots an arrow, and the arrow just passes through your one of your foot. So suppose your foot got damaged. So will you die by that? Just because of that? So Krishna leaves the body because the arrow hits the foot, and then it gets damaged, and then he leaves the body. Moreover, when he was fighting in the Kurukshetra, there were many divyastra, many great weapons that were coming towards Krishna, that were hitting his body, and Krishna was just enjoying. But here, one small hunter came, he shot an arrow, and then that arrow hit his foot, and Krishna left the body. What kind of death it is? So very magical. When Lord Ramachandra left his body, how he left the body? He, along with all his family, the Praja, the citizens of Ayodhya, they all entered Saryu. And then from Saryu, they all started going back to the spiritual world. What kind of death it is? So we cannot understand. And the one who understands, who tries to understand, upon leaving the body, one who knows this, upon leaving the body, takes his birth again in this material world. He does not take his birth, yes. So those who understand Krishna's Janma and Karma, so they do not have to take birth in this material world. So where they will go? They will go to spiritual world. These are the different activities. You see how Krishna is going from Mathura to Gokul. Vasudeva is taking him. And from backside, there is one big snake is there. The snake is covering, protecting the small kid. How many times it has happened with you? One small snake will come and then will just run away. Here, a snake with so many hoods, multiple hoods, that is protecting the child. The Yamuna is having so much flow on that. The Yamuna is giving the way. Who is Krishna then? For us, it will never happen. So these are the many wonderful activities Krishna did. Okay, so result of properly knowing Krishna's appearance, what happens? That we get out of all these material properties. Just so there are these things are there, how you get away from all this material nature, how we get away from that. Now this chapter 4, verse number 13, Krishna himself says that I have created the four varnas based on qualities and work, which I was telling in the last chapter, that how there are four varnas are there. And these four varnas are according to Chaturvarnyam Maya system, Guna Karma Vibhagasha. You will not find anywhere Janma. According to Janma, the four varnas are there. No. According to Guna and Karma, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra are divided. A person who is acting like a Brahmana is Brahmana. A person who is acting like a Shudra is Shudra. If somebody is taking birth in low class family, that doesn't mean he is a low class person. And who are we to say that that is a low class family? What is upper class family or what is lower class family? We are not the one to judge. Upper and lower class happens by their activities, by their qualities. If the family is engaged in good quality work, they are upper class. And although a family having very rich amount of wealth and all, but their activities, their qualities are very third class, so they are low class person. So this was the earlier system, and that was very nice system. And in fact, these four varnas are applicable everywhere. Even in the West also, if you go, so there is one is teacher class, one is uh, what do you say, administrative class, one is business class or mercantile class, and one is labor class. So these four classes are there everywhere. In every society you will find, because this is made by Krishna himself. So in every society you will find these things. So when someone says that, see, Brahma, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, so you don't have to get fooled by their this explanation. We should know that these were made, if this is given in our scriptures, so they were fully according to the guna and karma, never according to janma. If according to janma it would have happened, Lord Ramachandra would have never made any friendship with the Kevat. His friends were there. One Kevat was there. One person who was king of the forest, Guha Raj. So they were his friends. Lord Ramachandra made friendship with Sugriv. Uh, Sugriv is a monkey. Sugriv is a monkey king. So similarly, we see that Lord Krishna made friendship with all this. His friends were there. All these friends were from. If you see, they were neither Kshatriya, they were not Brahmanas. So such kind of friendship, Lord Krishna, Lord Ramachandra, they did with them. So if Janma was the prominent factor, so it would have never happened. The guna and karma, that is more important. Even we worship so many saints, as I give the example. We worship so many saints. We worship so many the associates of Lord. So they are simply because they are associating with the Lord, they are worshipable. Otherwise, what kind of activities, what kind of birth they are getting? There is one example of one devotee called Haridas Thakur. He was born in a Muslim family. Now, I'm not saying that Hindu or Muslim, which is great and which is not great. But I'm saying that in the scriptures, the example is given. He was born in a Muslim family, but since he was engaged in chanting the holy name of the Lord, he became the world famous Namacharya for the chanting the holy name. And he used to chant 20 to 24 hours every day, not taking care of his body. So he was a great devotee of the Lord. And then that's why we worship. Although he was born in a Muslim family, no need. He was greater than the Vaishnava. Sorry, he was greater than the Brahmana. When someone becomes the devotee of the Lord, he surpasses all these four varnas. So that's why we should not get fooled with the explanation. People are trying to fight with each other, saying Dalits and Shudra and Brahmana and upper class, lower class. Actually, there is no class. In this age, everything is hybrid, everything is mixed. Everyone is, you all might show, sometime you become kind of Brahmana, your nature sometime becomes like Kshatriya, sometime you act like businessman, sometime you act like labor class. So all four varnas are there. Now this is mixture. Hybrid is going on. Nobody is pure. It's called, there is no pure race. Now the race is mixed. So we should not fight with each other for this. अरे हम इसका छुएंगे नहीं, हम इसका नहीं टच करेंगे, ये तो छुआछूत अभी खराब हो गया, अब हम पानी पिएंगे. No, no, these all things are just nonsense things are going on. So I'm just skipping all these verses and then directly jumping to 34 because this is very important verse again. Chapter 4, verse number 34 here. Krishna is giving the method of attaining transcendental knowledge. Since there are many verses are there about transcendental knowledge, how to attain this? The process of attaining jnana is from a guru. It's not like you read the book. Suppose I am reading Bhagavad Gita. So I am reading Bhagavad Gita. And I will claim after some time that I have known everything from Bhagavad Gita. No. The spiritual knowledge is revealed knowledge. The spiritual knowledge is not there. It's not like just you read and you acquired. You can never read or you can never get this knowledge by being in the achiever mode. Yes, I'll complete. I'll finish the thing. I have completed Bhagavad Gita. I have read this many times. I have understood everything. We can never understand a spiritual subject matter by being in achiever mode. It is always like you have to achieve, you have to receive, you have to be in the receiver mode. Unless you are in the receiving form, receiving platform, you can never get this knowledge. So the method of attaining transcendental knowledge, Krishna says, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya ubdekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. The example is also given in the in Mahabharata. Some examples comes. There is a very famous boy whose name was Aruni, Upamanyu. So this Aruni, Upamanyu, they were the student of Rishi Dhaumya. So you might have heard this story of Aruni that once there was so much rain was going on. So the guru says to Aruni, Aruni, go and see if any of our field is not broken and all. So just go and take care, see they are very well situated or not. Aruni goes to the field in the evening time. He sees that one of the field, there is the boundaries there. So one of the boundaries broken and the water is getting out. So Aruni tried to stop it, but then he could not. But so then he thinks that this I have to protect this field. So he simply just lies down there so that the water will not get out. And because he just lies down, so for whole night he was just there, and due to that he gets shivering and all, and then he became unconscious there. Next morning, the rishi asked about Aruni where he is. Nobody could say. Everybody said that Guruji, you said you sent him to the field yesterday in evening time. So everybody then run toward the field. Now the Guru asks, he was shouting, Aruni, Aruni, where are you? Then they see the Aruni is lying down at one of the place and he's trying to save the water. The Rishi Dhame became very, very happy and very, what we say, out of compassion, he started crying. And then he embraced Aruni and then said that just to fulfill my order, you did so much austerity. So I'll just simply bless you that whatever knowledge I have, you receive everything. So just by that blessing, Aruni became knower of all these Vedas and all. So the spiritual knowledge is this is revealed knowledge. You have to just receive from the Guru. So how you should receive from Guru? By humbly approaching, by submissively inquiring. We should not inquire with the challenging questions, and then we should serve also. In that way, we can receive the knowledge. Anyway, today I started late. I'll complete from I'll finish here only. This from 35 to 40, all these things are there. Result and glories of Jnana. How by acquiring knowledge, what happens? No bewilderment, bestows pure vision, destroys sins, destroys all reactions. It's the purest. Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram vidyate. There is nothing purer than the knowledge. Role of faith in acquiring jnana. Who can attain jnana? Shraddhavan labate jnanam. Those who have faith, they can attain Jnana. Who cannot attain Jnana? Agyas, Ashraddadanas, Samshayatma Vinashati. Those who do not have faith and those who have always doubt, so they will never attain the Jnana. So these things are there in chapter 4. We'll complete this. Any question if you have? I started little late, so that's why I could not complete little more. I was trying to finish. Anyway, we'll complete it. So today's thing, what we discussed chapter 3 about ego, how misidentifying ourselves, the soul starts acting as body, and then whatever action he does, the action goes in wrong direction. Then there was a question of Arjuna that how and why, by knowing everything, still we perform wrong activities. Krishna says it is because of lust. So intense desire to satisfy ourselves, to get enjoyment, we perform many times wrong activities. So we should be having with the proper knowledge. With proper knowledge, that lust can be counterattacked. Like here, the result and glories of Jnana is given. It destroys sins. It gives pure vision. With pure vision, then the lust gets destroyed, and then the lust, when it gets destroyed, so we take proper action, and that proper action in the next chapter we are going to discuss what is that proper action is, how that action should be, and what should be the center of all the activities. Also in chapter 4, we discussed about Krishna's supremacy, Krishna's special uniqueness in birth, and why Krishna comes in this world, why he incarnates at all, and what are his purpose of incarnation, how Krishna creates the 4 different kind of varnas, and how to attain the pure knowledge, that is by rendering service to the spiritual master. Hare Krishna. So, any question if you have? What is the most thing we can do for Sri Krishna in our daily life? Okay, what we can do to please him? Yeah, very nice question. So, since we haven't discussed about Bhakti Yoga till now, still I can give some glimpses about that. What we should do for him. So, whatever he likes, that we should do. If we want to please someone, so whatever he likes to be around, that we should do. What Krishna likes, he likes very simple thing. He says that just put faith, and with little bhakti, whatever you offer me, try to offer me, so I accept it. So in 9th chapter, Krishna will say that whatever activity you do, he's not saying that you leave everything and you just surrender unto me. That he will say after some time. But then his instruction for us, at least in this student life, is that whatever you do, whatever activity you do, yat karosi yadasnasi, whatever activity you do, whatever you eat, whatever you receive in the offering, everything you just offer to me, and then by offering to me, that thing, that activity will become purified. So I accept it. Suppose whatever we eat, first we should pray to Krishna that Krishna, thank you very much for giving this food, and please accept it. This only I have today. Please accept it and make it prasad. I'll accept prasad. Whatever we get or whatever activity we do, suppose I'm studying, so I should study for Krishna, that whenever I'm getting the result of good results and all, I should put Krishna in center. See, because of Krishna's mercy, I'm getting this good marks and all. And whatever in my life, whatever happiness, peacefulness I'm getting, is because of Krishna's mercy. He has given me such wonderful family. He's given me such wonderful friend circle. He has given me such wonderful health and whatever the society and all. So because of him only these things is happening. So we should always try to show our gratitude towards him. And yat karosi yadasnasi yajjuhosi dadasi. And whatever you receive, you just offer. Suppose somebody is working and getting some salary. So with that salary, what he should do? He should try to serve the Lord in some way, and then spending that some Lakshmi, some money in donation. After that, he can use for his family circles, for his family members, and whatever he is doing in his family, All these activities again are going to offer to Krishna. Suppose you purchase a watch, suppose you purchase a bag, you purchase some clothes, everything you offer to Krishna. By offering to Krishna, you will not lose anything. The things will get purified and you only have to use. When we offer food to Krishna, it's not like your plate is empty. The food becomes prasad and you can take prasad. So by doing some small things, just the thing is introducing Krishna in our consciousness. That is what we have to do. Always remembering Krishna, never forget Krishna. That's the essence of all the Vedic scriptures. Whatever activity you do, just remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Okay? Any other question? Thank you. Any other question? If we have, should we end? Actually, I was traveling. I just reached Raipur at 10:45. So that's why, because of that, I got a little late. So we could not cover the desired PPTs or slides. Okay, so we end today. Any questions? If you have, tomorrow you can ask. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai.